So what I need to make this work is for everybody to get comfortable. So if you can kind of get your chair set up, get your legs uncrossed. I mean, we're going to make it rain, right? Got to get ready for that. That's right. You guys are serious, I can tell. It's like, man, that's it. All right. We're going to make it rain. Look at me, look at my eyes, and when I come and I'm looking at you, you do what I'm doing. Okay? You guys ready? Thank you. Now the thing about that is, first off, the capacity or the ability to make it rain was present in the room at all times. It was present from the very beginning of the day's program. Second, I can assure you that sitting there by yourself going, that's not rain. In order to make it rain, we gotta have everybody. Third thing, you, because you work in and live in a high trust culture, you were willing to sort of take a chance with me and, do something a little different. And you're willing to go with an idea that seemed a little crazy, but you're open to the possibility. The thing that really made it rain in this room was imagination. It was the imagination, that little spark of imagination that I brought. Yes, that was one part of it, agreed. But secondly, the rain was you created it in your mind as you listened. So the power of imagination is magnified when we have trust and we have a willingness to take a few chances and we have a willingness to cooperate with each other. And that's a metaphor for the whole future of your work in this profession and where you're going and how you are going to shape the future. It's going to be your imagination that creates a new kind of elderhood, new kinds of support for people living in elderhood. That's going to ease your entry, as Georgia was talking about, your entry into elderhood. You know, just like children, most healthy children, most of the time, don't spend time thinking about growing up. Most healthy children, most of the time, are like, that's gross. But it's kind of true in adults and elderhood. A lot of adults don't spend time thinking about their future elder self. But of all the people in America who should, we should. Because when you think about your true future elder self, it helps you understand the elders you're spending your time with you're caring for and you're being with. And it helps so much, I gotta tell you, to be in the company of elders and to recognize and see them as human beings living in an advanced state of development that's actually beyond the phase of your development. Now, I say that kind of thing, and people come back to me, try to come back to me, and say, well, you know, Dr. Thomas, you have to understand there's a disease and disability and dementia and, you know, and I, as a geriatrician, I understand those things perfectly well. But I also understand that those things do not define the person. Again, as Georgia was saying, it's not room 101, bed 2. It's a person. And there are people living with disability or people living with dementia. Yeah. And they happen, in large part, to be elders living with these things. And their capacity to live with disability and dementia is actually enhanced by their status of being more mature and more evolved than we are as adults. So, I'm going to leave you with 2 thoughts. First, Ken was sort of trying to figure the challenge about what kind of title to throw on him. And it's actually, I think I've got one that'll be familiar. It's been familiar in my experience, and everyone in this room shares the same title. The title is Servant Leader. Ken does his best every day to conduct himself as a servant leader. I do my best. You do your best. Whatever position you're in the organization, you can be a servant leader in that position. The key to being a servant leader is valuing the needs of others. And man, this is like the Olympic team of valuing the needs of others. I'm just going to tell you, you don't get this much love and patience and tenderness at a convention of stockbrokers. You know what I mean? So if we have this room and we have the stockbrokers next door, and they have a contest. Okay, we challenge you to loving kindness and patience. And we look at the stockbrokers and they're like, do you know who you're talking to? We're going to whoop you. And it would be true, because that's the foundation of our field. That's who we are. That's what we are meant to be. And the last thing I'll say, and I'll stop, and the day will go on. So